Aiden H. Young, what is your hot take for this match, Gunther versus CM Punk? I want to hear it right off the bat. We're calling it in the ring. We're doing this match early. What's the hot
All
take?
right. Hot take, Gunther has absolutely no business beating CM Punk and being in this match. I feel like CM Punk is leaps and bounds ahead of Gunther in terms of star power, in terms of importance. I feel like Gunther is completely out of place here. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think seeing this graphic here, it doesn't fit. With Randy Orton, it fit at that time. I thought the title reign was good, but seeing Gunther and CM Punk, I just don't have any legitimate feeling Gunther's even in this match. He doesn't feel like an important champion. I feel like Trick Williams would feel better suited in this match than Gunther.
All right. Well, they got one more Monday Night Raw to get you there. I felt last Monday Night Raw, it was kind of like happy Punk. Like Punk was just placed in this match, and Punk was just happy to be there. There's no angst. There's no determination from CM Punk. It's just, you're Gunther, and I'm going to beat you and take your title. He didn't guarantee it. He didn't have that fiery baby go home promo. It's just like melatonin CM Punk. If CM Punk gets some more out of you Monday Night Raw, will you accept Gunther? Because I'm going to push back on the Gunther, but if CM Punk does more to get you excited for the Gunther match, are you open to getting excited for it, or are you just?
I'm not necessarily not excited by this match. I'm very excited to see it. I think it'll be a good back and forth competition. I'm talking about, if I'm asked who's winning this match, I am playing 120% into CM Punk. I don't see Gunther winning this match in any stretch of the imagination. I don't think anyone would buy CM Punk losing to Gunther here. I feel like it would, similar to what John Cena in Theory had a couple years ago when Theory beat Cena. It did nothing for him. This would do nothing for Gunther. This would honestly make me care less about Gunther if he were to win this match.
Okay, so Gunther. Last year, it's Damian Priest. The year before that, it's Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. He had the historical Intercontinental title run. This is the second turn with the World Heavyweight Championship run. I thought the Intercontinental title run was better than the World title run last year. He got the Jey Uso surprise win. I was a little shocked that he beat Jey Uso so quick in Jey Uso's run. I wasn't mad at it. I'm a Gunther guy. I like and respect Jey, but I think taking the title off him before it was kind of yearned for will do him well in the long run. So I'm surprised Gunther is our current champion. He had the successful title defense against Goldberg, which was a shockingly, surprisingly acceptable match, in my opinion. I thought it was pretty decent quality. And now we have CM Punk. Similar vein to Goldberg, but not quite at the Goldberg, like star power wise.
Not even close in terms of the oldness.
What I'm trying to say is veteran. Yes. Like Gunther is with the Damian Priest, the Jey Usos, even low-key Drew McIntyre types. He doesn't float in this Goldberg, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns orbit. This is his first time touching this orbit of him. He's used to the Sheamus types, right? So I'm curious how he's going to be presented at this level of the tip top. And I assume it's going to main event night one. So that's a pretty big spot for Gunther.
I think it very well could main event either that or the women's triple threat, but I think this match has everything it needs to main event. I don't think he's a horrible wrestler. I don't love his style, but I understand how good and solid he is. I do think that him losing this match does him favors to possibly win another world title, because then you could start building a character and building a story without the championship. At the moment, I just see him as a dude with the title. I don't see him as a champion. I just see him as the dude with the title who's looking to move on, and we got to figure out what's next. I feel like a whole repurpose of his character, whatever that means, whatever he faces new competition. Someone like Drew McIntyre, I liked what you said, because he's someone who could easily fight the Roman Reigns, the CM Punks, and you're not even going to bat an eye. Seeing that with Gunther, I bat an eye. That's not something that's really as seamless as it is with other superstars. And I feel like he has to do a little bit of work to get himself to that spot. Now, in the ring, I don't think he has to necessarily do too much work. I feel like sometimes he's a little lazier in the ring, and that's just the style he has. He likes to do some of the similar stuff. And I don't think that makes him bad per se. I do think that we need to see him face off against more top-tier talents to see what he can offer. I like the stuff with Randy Orton, but then we have other matches where we had the Jey Uso, I don't even want to say trilogy. They had more matches than that. And I thought they were all good matches. I just felt like it was like, it's starting to get repetitive. And then he won the title again. And I'm like, The first time I thought the world title losing at Mania was good. I thought it was good for him. The Pat McAfee feud. I'm like, all right, cool. We're starting to build Gunther. But then we go right back to the title, and it's like, dude, this guy's held the belt for more days on the roster than he has it. That's not something that nearly anyone should be having, except the Roman Reigns. The fact that Gunther has this little amount of wrestling without a championship under his belt, to me, I feel like it doesn't help establish his character, similar to Charlotte Flair, until recently that she's been able to do.
Okay. I brought up his IC run. I brought his first world title run. Those world title runs felt about Gunther, establishing who Gunther is in the landscape of WWE. This one, I am not going to lie to you. I agree with you. I feel that it's a transitional title. I think that the Goldberg title defense was on purpose, and I felt that it was sudden to kind of build him up real quick. I'm not sure if it's right now versus CM Punk, but I feel like Gunther isn't going to be the world champion at the end of the year. I feel that he's just transitioning in the summer to some other babyface, because CM Punk taking the belt from like Jey Uso, that doesn't do CM Punk well in the long run. That could be something where the fans deflect their cheers off CM Punk to Jey Usos. But if you transition the belt to Gunther, to CM Punk, if it's at SummerSlam, or if it's to maybe a cash-in that we'll talk about, perhaps, maybe, so to speak, right? If it's at this one, or so to speak, I just feel that this title run for Gunther isn't about Gunther. It's just to kind of pat his stats and transition to the next guy. What do you want to go? You want to go CM Punk, Seth Rollins here? We got time. What do you want to go?
I think Seth is legit hurt. I don't know if it's for as long as some people want to say. I think he'll come back around Rumble time. Could be a little bit before that, maybe Survivor Series, depending on what the injury is, because Seth Rollins is a freak of nature. He'll probably be in the PT room 3 times a day like John Cena was. But I don't think he's coming back SummerSlam soon. Now, if it happens at this point, I can't say I'll be shocked, because so many people are talking about it. I think this is the perfect time to get CM Punk a world title, because I think in this run of his, he needs to hold the title at least once.
I agree.
To see how things flat out. If it goes that well, where it's like, all right, let's give it to him another time, then cool, we can do that. But I think like this is the perfect time. Gunther doesn't need the belt. Him losing, I think, would do him a favor with a banger match from CM Punk, because then you could build back to him eventually claiming the world title. I doubt as a babyface, because I don't think I'd ever believe Gunther is a babyface, but you can reestablish him as a heel.
Yeah.
In a couple, it may be like 4 years, maybe. I don't know. In a year, you could really flip that switch. I think he's a great heel, does great work as that. I just think he needs some time away from the title to build up this character, to be more than just mean dude who power bombs and I'm the champion. I feel like Gunther needs a little bit more substance to his character, something that like Punk has so much of. And I know he has a lot longer of a career in the main stage. I just think we need to establish that with Gunther as well.
Are we going to get that out of Punk on Monday Night Raw, though? I want to go down Seth late, and I want to finish. There's a little bit more I want to touch on Punk. But with Gunther, going to garnish what we need from CM Punk to make this main event so appetizing on Monday night, to main event SummerSlam Night 1. Because right now, it feels like it's just presented and announced. It doesn't have the depth. They only have 2 weeks to give us the depth of interest. Will CM Punk and Gunther be able to go out there and shoot an angle, have some promo battles, do whatever, build off whatever they started on Monday night to get us to acceptable SummerSlam Night 1 main event? Can they do it, or is it just kind of going to be flat?
I think we're going to get a brawl. I think a brawl is something that will happen. I don't think we're getting a promo, because I'm going to be honest with you. I think if CM Punk gets a promo on Gunther, he's going to make it feel out of place. I really think that Gunther, he's an okay promo. I would say a good promo. I don't think he has enough to stand up toe-to-toe with CM Punk in the ring, and believably. I feel like CM Punk would dog walk him in a promo battle. And you might like Gunther's promos. I just don't know. Yeah. I feel like if they get into a promo battle, it's going to make CM Punk seem that much more better than Gunther. It's going to be like, all right, he's going to win. I think it's a toss-up that CM Punk is clearly winning this match. But
you know what,
other people might disagree.
You know what Monday felt like to me is we haven't decided the finish yet. So we want to go out there and present them to what we got a week to figure out what we're doing. So let's just go present the feud, play it safe, and give us something to kind of build off of. Because it was like, all right, Gunther, CM Punk was like, all right, Gunther, I know who you are. I know why you're here. You have what I want to take, but I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to take it. If we knew that CM Punk was going to win, he would guarantee it. I feel that they're kind of letting some things play out behind the scenes, letting some things, see how the social media reacts, see what's going on in the future here, maybe look at a few medical results, and then we're going to decide heading into Monday night what we're going to do. And then we'll kind of give them some focus to kind of give us something to bite our teeth into from a brawl, a promo, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think Seth's even that close. I think
No?
at the best, well, I don't know what the pay-per-view between Survivor Series and Clashes. That would be, in my opinion, the earliest he comes back. I feel like there's no way he's coming back at SummerSlam. I just feel like if it was a work, I feel like there's some things that would have been done better. I feel like it's been really, at least to me, believable that he is hurt, and in a good way. Like, I don't think he's bullshit. I think he's like truly like hurt. And I feel like listen, if he comes back, and he could come back and cash in, they're gonna do it. But they have a year to do it, so it's not like it's rushed. If it was rushed, I could totally see where they might, even if he's kind of hurt, do it anyway. Even if they just get the title off him or give it to Braun or something like that. But I think Punk's winning. I just don't know how he wins. Does he beat him clean to knock him off TV for a couple months to re-establish Gunther, whatever direction they're going to take him in? Is he going to beat him by a roll-up? He ain't going to tap him out. I know that. I don't think that's doing Gunther any favors. But I just think, how does CM Punk win this match and get the title to him? And then, because I think there's so many feuds. LA Knight, someone you can have wrestle CM Punk on Raw. Drew McIntyre's a feud you could revisit if you really want to. There's still so many other contenders. Karrion Kross, you can even try to throw in there, set him out, and see if anything goes with it. I think Karrion Kross is doing good work. I think he's a talent where you give him a shot. Hey, you never know. And CM Punk's that good where you can literally give him anybody on the roster, and I think you'd make magic.
All right, let's just humor me with the Seth orbit, because I went to Providence Raw, so I went back and rewatched it. And very early in the match, they go to the outside, and Penta starts kicking Seth Rollins' knee. And Michael Cole brings to the attention that that's the surgically repaired knee that has given Seth Rollins problems throughout. And, you know, kind of like putting it on the radar that Penta is kind of weakening that knee. And then perhaps, does he alter it in that match? Maybe, I don't know. But they presented it and put it on the platter extremely early in the match to perhaps be a tea leaf if you're paying attention. I didn't like the finish to the LA Knight match. I thought it was too fake.
Me neither.
I didn't like that. If that was the plan, I didn't like how they brought it there. Like,
that's why I don't think it was fake. I think it felt too, and they did the best they could as professionals. I'm not gonna like hate it all. That's why I think it's real, because I'm like, he wanted to give him the win. He's not gonna.
Yeah. I'm 50-50. Like, I think it's somewhere in between, a mixture of the both. But for me to go one way, like, all right, kick me in the knee, we're going home. That's so fake. Like in Paul and Seth.
Well, no, I mean, that was the BFT. I mean, you're gonna go home if that's how you're gonna do it. Then you gotta do it. Like, clearly he got hurt, so him beating him,
so fake. Yeah,
but that's how I feel is real, because like it just seems so like, why are we gonna do this? And Seth putting him over, that doesn't shock me. Seth's one of those talents who wants to make every talent look good. And I thought LA Knight could have done better in that gauntlet. I feel like they could have made the cheating a little more obvious, because I feel like he should be on the card too. But I think he should involve himself in this match somehow. You know, I'm not saying that's have to be a triple threat, but like maybe I get the winner because I just beat the Money in the Bank guy, and maybe that's where they go after this. I don't know. We still have Monday Night Raw to really look in and, you know, dig our teeth in this feud.
You know what I would do at night? I'd have him host. I'd have him host SummerSlam.
That's not bad.
Give him something, right? He deserves something. I like LA Knight a lot, and he has a history. Slim Jim Battle Royal 2 years ago, winning the US. Have him be host. I think that's a good layer for LA Knight, right? So
I think he's someone who could be involved in this title picture in the near future. Now, whether he wins the Royal Rumble, which is my pick at the moment, whether he just fights for the title flat out, I think the potential is there. I think the overness is there, and I feel like he's someone who needs to be kept an eye on as well. Like, he's probably going to be watching this match in kayfabe at least, and being like, who am I facing next? Because LA Knight, CM Punk, that's selling tickets.
That's good shit right there. Talking about if he's the host, he's organically, you know, watching from a distance, could become a part of it, like not in the match, but on the outside. You know, it could lead to something down the road. All right, I'm going to go 25% chance Seth Rollins is playing us, and it has to be on the radar, because ultimately, another thing that kind of triggered my thought of being like, this is a possibility. His whole mission is to say CM Punk will not be world champion under my radar. right?
Yeah.
He proved that in the CM Punk Cena match at Night of Champions. So that's just another thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind too, as well, right? To say that perhaps it's an option.
I can see that being an option. Now, maybe that happens at SummerSlam. Maybe that happens after. I think Seth could 100% cash in, possibly leading into an LA Knight feud with Seth Rollins if they decide to go that way. If it's not Roman Reigns, because I feel like Seth and Roman is a story that will be told. Maybe it would have been told at SummerSlam. I truly don't know what the direction was going to be because there's so many different stories playing out. I didn't think we were getting this match, to be completely honest with you. I did not think we were getting
I didn't either, especially off the loss to Cena, right?
Especially that. But then I'm looking at this lineup. I'm like, Punk's the only guy who makes sense here. Like, I want to see him, and I was so happy when it happened.
Yeah,
LA could have won, and I was pulling for it, but I didn't have faith that they would pull the trigger this early with him, especially because I don't know if they'd want to give him the title this early. They'd want to capitalize on it with a Rumble win or a Chamber win. LA Knight Rumble winner. Here's your new shirt. So there's a lot that goes into it, but I was ecstatic to see this. And there's so many, like, I think Seth cashing in 10% chance. I don't think it's high. I truly think he's hurt. If he's working me, then good job on you, brother, because you're working. I am fooled. I am a fool for this.
Yeah, they could even do a fake, like play the music. They got the long entrance, and then Gunther's a pro. He grabs him, chokes him. That's our finish before Seth even makes it, right?
I would hate that. I would so hate
something. I don't know, just something to protect Punk, something to screw Punk, not actually cash in, but just distract him. I don't know. Is the Braun's going to be a part of this? Is the match with Roman before this? Like,
if this wasn't with the Cena match that just happened, I would understand that finish. But I feel like he just fought Cena. He got screwed. If he gets screwed again, we don't need to drag this out to get him a title. He's already 46 years old. I feel like if there's a potential to get multiple world title reigns out of this whole Punk run, let's get one out right now. I would say the same with Randy Orton. I'm shocked that Randy Orton hasn't won a world title race. It's coming back 2 years ago. I thought last year was a good time against Gunther. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he was going to be Gunther, but they didn't go that direction, and I'm not necessarily mad at it, but, there's a lot of things that can go on.
All right, we're heading towards the end of this preview, Aiden. So I got 3 things for you. 1, alert. MK2 alert. Check it out, boys. It's in the description. Brain fog takes care of it all. Anyways, number 2. You're from the New York area, Jets or Giants?
Yes. This is going to be a controversial take. I'm just getting into football. I technically have a team. There's a reason for it. When I played fantasy football in 2019, Travis Kelce was the first guy I ever drafted. I became a fan through him. So on a technical basis, it's the Chiefs. Now, here's my thing. When he retires, I don't really know if I'm going to be a Chiefs fan or I want to reassess. That I'm not, because I wouldn't say I'm a diehard Chiefs fan or anything. I'm a Chiefs fan because I like Kelce and I like Mahomes, but like outside of that, I can't really say I have a team locked in. I want to see what happens in a couple years whenever he retires. I'll refigure it, whatever team that might be. That could be the Giants. That could be the Jets. I don't know.
2019 is the time that if you're going to get on the KC wagon, you've been on a hell of a ride.
That was the first time I ever watched football in my entire life.
So it wasn't the Swifties. It was Travis.
Oh yeah, no. That I was Travis fan way before that.
I'm fucking with you, man. That's cool. All right, interesting. That's cool. All right, and number 3. Predictions. I'd be surprised if CM Punk won. I'm going to go the other way. I think Gunther wins. Okay. I think Seth, I don't know if we get a cash in. I think we get like a music or something. I got to see the go home promo from Punk. My prediction is skewed because I haven't seen the go home promo. We're about 10 days from SummerSlam. They're going to do a little bit more if they're going to convince me CM Punk's going to win this. But that weak delivery on Monday, that not much of a delivery for the feud to kick it off, could be purposeful to kind of go home extra strong. Right now, 10 days out, I'm picking Gunther. I think that CM Punk will win the championship eventually. I think Gunther is a transitional championship. I'm not sure if SummerSlam is the time, though. And I'm still going 25% Seth is playing us. So I'm just going to stay CM Punk will not be the champion is my prediction. And I love CM Punk, all-time top guy for me, top 5 guy for me all time. And I love Gunther now. So it's a tough match for me personally, but that's just where my heart is and my gut is right now. What's yours? You sticking to it?
I'm sticking with CM Punk. I think it's an 80% chance he wins. 10%. I'll even go 5% that Seth is involved. 15% that Gunther wins. I realistically don't see a world where CM Punk is not walking out of SummerSlam as the world champion. I think it needs a nice refresh. I think he's the right guy to do it. You're going to Paris. He's loved in the international crowds. So you could find any heel on the roster to have him work Paris, get a good match out of the way, and just go crazy from there. Because, I mean, CM Punk world title, the last thing you could think of is when he held the title for 434 days. We got to add something to that. We have to add to this catalog because every guy has held the title in recent years. Punk has held a WWE title in freaking 12 years at least. So we need to change that. I'm going CM Punk.
2013 Rumble. 2013 Rumble.
Yeah, literally. Yep. I actually saw him win the title for the 434-day reign. So
MSG Survivor Series 11.
Yep. If I can be there to see him win this title, life will be good. So I am doubling down. CM Punk will be walking out of SummerSlam as the World Heavyweight Champion. Pyro going off.
I'm for it, man. I'm for it. I hope they get me there. I initially think that's the route. I just don't know if SummerSlam is the time. That's where I am at right now. They got one more Monday Night Raw to convince me otherwise, but as we are 10 days out, that's where we're at. All right, Aiden, where can these guys find you? What do you got for us?
You guys can find me on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. We make wrestling, basketball, and other fun content all the time. Just trying to make fun vibes, grow a community on there, and go insane. We're posting on TikTok all the time. I'm live for YouTube and TikTok for any wrestling show, Raw, SmackDown. I'm going to try to get some AEWs in there. Every pay-per-view for pro wrestling, pretty much, I will be live for, and we just try to have a fun time. So go subscribe to my YouTube channel, my TikTok, my Instagram. It's all Aiden Chong, name right there. That's where it'll find me.
Well, I'll put it in the descriptions. I got to know the basketball team. What's the basketball team as we get out of here?
All right, so the basketball team is a team and a player. I am a Golden State Warriors fan. I played NBA 2K14 when I was out of basketball for like a year. I played with the Warriors, became a fan. It's that simple. Been a fan since. Steph Curry is one of my favorite players. I'm a LeBron fan as well. I know it's two very cross-path things, but listen, I'm a fan of my OGs. I'm going to stick with it. Hopefully, one of them win the title before they retire. Maybe both. We'll find out, though, because NBA is coming up. League Pass, I got it last year. Best purchase of my life. We'll be doing it again.
Absolutely. You can watch tons of Celtics, too, by the way. Go see us, baby.
Not the Celtics. I was so happy when the Knicks beat the Celtics. I was smiling with ears out. It was an amazing time to be alive. Not that Tatum's hurt. Tatum's going to come back strong.
Bing bong, the bing bongers were out. Aiden, we'll have you on again, buddy. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. It was great. Thank you for having me.